Welcome! Thank you for joining us for today's lesson. This is part of a 13-lesson series brought to you by the Food Trust Nutrition Educators. The Food Trust works to ensure that everyone has access to affordable, nutritious food and the information to make healthy choices. In this series, we'll be covering topics such as how to shop at a farmer's market, stretching your food dollars, storing fruits and vegetables, and more. Join us every other week as we share nutrition information from my plate, as well as tips and tricks to eating more healthy food at every meal. Each bi-weekly lesson will be followed by a recipe featuring a seasonal ingredient you can find at your local farmer's market or grocery store. Meet our nutrition educators, who you'll get to know through our lessons or recipe demonstrations. We're excited to have you with us. Thanks again for joining us. Please fill out our anonymous survey at the end of this video so that we can find out more about who we're reaching and how to serve our audience best. We hope you come back for our next lesson. See you then!
Hello, my name is Charlene, and I'm a nutrition educator here with the Food Trust. A little bit about us: we work hard to make sure people have access to delicious, nutritious food no matter where they live. We also provide nutrition education by using My Plate, which is the basis for every lesson that we teach. So here's just a little overview of the things you want to make sure that you know going forward as you watch our different lessons. For one, you'll notice that half of the plate contains fruits and vegetables. You want to keep this in mind for every single meal. Now, while it can be difficult to think for fruits for dinner and vegetables for breakfast, there are a lot of creative ways in which you can combine both of those to make something delicious as well as nutritious. As you watch our lessons, we'll give you some more ideas onto how to make that happen. Along with that, we're looking for 6 ounces of grains every single day. So that can be half of it whole grains and half of it are refined grains. Whole grains, for instance, are oatmeal, brown rice, quinoa, whole wheat bread. Those are great sources of a nice whole grain. Now, of course, we'll explain a little bit more as to why that's good for us, but you want to keep in mind, first things first, is that it's really great for our hearts. So when you are choosing your grains, you want to make half of your grains whole, meaning that 3 ounces of the day, you want to try to make sure you're getting a whole grain, and you'll find balance between the ones that you like and the refined grains that you prefer. Along with that, we're looking for 6 ounces of protein daily. With 6 ounces of protein, we want to make sure that we want to mix up how we get our protein. There are 2 types: animal-based protein and plant-based protein. With animal-based protein, it provides a great source of iron, which is super awesome for our bodies, but it doesn't provide any fiber. Versus plant-based protein, where the iron is a little bit harder to digest, but it provides us with fiber. That's when you want to make sure you're getting a nice balance of both. When you're choosing the size of meat, you want it to be the size of your palm of your hand. When you're choosing your plant-based protein, you want to at least get like a cup of beans, maybe even a 4th cup of nuts and seeds. Just make sure you're reading the labels and see what serving size is going to work for your protein goals. Last thing we have is dairy. With dairy, we want to make sure we're getting 3 cups of it daily. This is a great source of calcium. But if you don't eat dairy products for whatever reason, there are other options as well. There's non-dairy milk, there's kale, and other dark leafy green vegetables that count as a vegetable on my plate, but also counts as our calcium source as well. So you can kind of Get 2 different food groups covered with 1 vegetable. Along with that, there's even fortified orange juice as well as fortified bread that'll have calcium in it. So if you choose to eat dairy products, milk, cheese, and yogurt. If you choose to eat non-dairy milk, dark leafy green vegetables, and fortified products. Thank you so much for tuning in to today's lesson. We look forward to seeing you in the next one. Bye.
Hi, thank you for joining us today. My name is Paulette, and I am a SNAP Ed nutrition educator at the Food Trust. Today, we're in Reading, Pennsylvania, at one of our farm stands that's open almost all year round. You can find a lot of our open farm stands if you visit our website at www.thefoodtrust.org. There you'll be able to find a list of our Reading farmers markets, as well as any local Philadelphia farmers markets that you can plan a stop and visit. Our markets are open on a rolling basis, so we are heading towards the start of our farmers market season. Right now we have a few year-round farmers markets. I will be taking us to Clark Park in Philadelphia in a little bit, but today let's check out what we can find at our Reading farm stand. What are some ways that you can prepare for your next grocery trip or a visit to the farmers market? You can make a list of things that you want to pick up. You can bring a reusable bag. And of course, please don't forget to bring a mask, because at all of our Food Trust farmers markets and our partner markets, we require all customers to wear a mask. Let's go! So we are at the Penn State South St. Joseph's campus farm stand, where we partner with Blue Mountain Academy as our farmer. And every time you come to one of our farm stands, please look for our table with our Food Trust staff. When you check in at the Food Trust table, we'll have information on nutrition, a featured recipe. We'll also have incentives that we give away each week. So this week, we are giving out cutting boards, which you can use to cut any of our fruits and vegetables that you buy using your food bus. And our recipe this week is gingered carrots. Later on, we're gonna go shopping and I will prepare our double vegetable fried rice. So I'll take you shopping to get some of those veggies. All right, so if you are visiting a farmer's market or a farm stand for the first time, one of the things that you can do is look around and see what they have. And if you have a list, try to look for things that are on your list. And of course, try to get to know your farmer and how the food is grown. Hi, so I'm Paulette, and I would love to hear more about your farm.
Okay. Our farm is in Hamburg. It's been there for about 10 years now. It's certified organic, and we are with Blue Mountain Academy, which is a boarding school for high school students. And the agriculture department is there for the students to learn how to do farming and how to grow their own food, and it helps sustain the school as well by growing the food for the students to eat at the cafeteria.
Awesome. Thank you for sharing that.
Yes.
What are some of the vegetables or fruit that you have in season currently?
Right now we have our greens coming off of the winter farm, and we have our beets. These were grown inside of the greenhouses that we have. We're currently transplanting a lot of our small plants outside. We have garlic, onions, celery, tomatoes, cucumbers, just a variety of almost anything that you think of.
Yeah.
We're trying to grow it this year to get more variety for our customers and to have most of it come from our farm.
Yeah, so we are early on in the harvest season, so as more fruits and vegetables are ready to harvest and pick, they will bring them to the farm stands for our customers to buy. So she mentioned that her farm is only 30 miles away, and in the food world, that is super local. So your vegetables that you see here were grown really close. The money that you're spending on your fruits and vegetables is staying locally, and you're supporting the local economy. So stop by your local farmers markets and show our farmers some love and redeem your food bucks or Burke's Farm Bucks. So today I'm here at Clark Park, which is one of our year-round farmers markets. So in Philly, we have 4 farmers markets that are open all year. Clark Park, which is one at 43rd in Baltimore. We also have Head House, which is open on Sundays. And we have Fittler Square, which is open on Saturdays, and Fairmount, which is open on Thursdays. So you can check to see which is closest to you and their times and days of the week that they're open at www.thefoodtrust.org. So when we first get to Clark Park, you notice that compared to the farm stand in Reading, there are more than one vendor. So we have multiple vendors at Clark Park. And as the season goes on, you can find more of your neighborhood farm stands opening up. And they usually have, 1 to 2 stands. And so when you go to a bigger farmer's market like Clark Park, first thing you want to do is go and check out who's at the market. So I have my list, and later you can join me as I make our double vegetable fried rice. So that demo will be coming after. But with my list, I have a few vegetables that I am on the hunt for. And of course, if you don't like any of these vegetables or your family doesn't really enjoy cabbage or mushrooms, you can choose to put in a different vegetable. So with our farmers markets, they usually carry what's in season or what they have available and fresh. So right now it's a little too early in the season for berries, but we should be able to find most of these veggies. So if you look at all the stands that are available at the market, you can find baked goods, you can find flowers, cheese, mushrooms, lots of different vendors. So be sure to take a walk around and see who's here. Before we head into the market, I want to make sure I put my mask on because they are still required at all of our Food Trust farmers markets. So don't forget your mask, your list, and your reusable bag. Let's go. One stop that I want to take you all to is our Food Trust table. And so at all of our farmers markets, we will have a table where you can find our amazing volunteers and staff. Here you can find information about more information on our farmers markets. If you have an EBT card or if you receive SNAP benefits, you can also use your benefits at the farmers market. So when you are purchasing fruits or vegetables at a farm stand, they will be able to give you a slip that tells you how much you spent, and then when you stop at the table, they can use your SNAP card to pay for those purchases. And then from there, you will also earn $2 in food bucks for every $5 that you spend. So the food bucks, they expire at the end of the year, so you can save them to use them all at once, or you can use them every time you visit a Food Trust farmers market. You can use them at other Philly farmers market as well, and you can find the list of participating farmers markets on our website. So one of the benefits of shopping at a farmer's market is being able to talk to the people who grew your food, who harvested your food, and get to know where their farm is and their practices in growing and harvesting the produce. So today we're going to stop at Living Good Farm, their farm stand here, and find out more about their farm. So how far away is Living Good Farm from Philly?
Living Good Family Farm is about an hour and a half west of Philadelphia, about 50 miles or so.
And you're located in Lancaster County, correct?
Lancaster County, right.
Yeah, so, super local. Anything less than 100 miles away is considered local, so they are not too far from Philly. And can you share more about your family farm?
Living Good Family Farm is a third-generation farm at this point. The boys are young at this point, but they're third generation. And family farm has been in produce for many years. Recent years has been also with beef, pork, and lamb production as well.
Okay, awesome. So you're able to sell all of your meat and vegetables that you grow here. So you can see all the coolers. They have their meats. They have eggs. They have any of the vegetables that are in season and growing. So, as you stop by the farm stands, you get to know a little bit more about where their food is coming from. Thank you for watching this week's lesson. I hope you learned more about the Food Trust Farmers Markets and how to plan for your next trip to one nearby. Now come with me as I shop for ingredients off of my shopping list and watch me make this week's recipe. As with any recipe, if you aren't able to find a listed fruit or vegetable, feel free to substitute it with any fruit or vegetable that's in season, which will tend to be the freshest and sometimes less expensive.
Thank you so much for watching today's lesson on shopping at the farmer's market. So let's review a little bit of the things that we learned today. We learned that shopping specifically at a farmer's market held by the food trucks, that there are some ways that you can save on your food dollars and maximize on the fruits and vegetables you're able to receive. For one, you are able to use your EBT or SNAP benefits at our farmers markets. For every $5 you spend at the market, you'll get $2 back in food bucks, which will help you to get more fruits and vegetables. Our food bucks are like coupons, and that helps you to save and get more fruits and vegetables that way, but they can only be used on fruits and vegetables. Along with shopping at the farmer's market, you want to make sure that you plan your trip before you get there. Choose a time that works best for you, and then you want to make sure that you bring your reusable shopping bag. That way you're able to carry everything home, and it's just a little bit sturdier and a little bit better for the environment than using the plastic bags. Along with that, you want to make sure that you get to know your farmers as well. When you get to know your farmers, you're able to understand where your food comes from, which is a really awesome thing to know. Along with that, you'll get to learn about the things that are growing in season. When you eat in season, it's the most nutritious for our bodies. As you learned within our lesson, when you choose to eat in season, it's also cheaper as well since it's grown in abundance. Thank you so much for tuning in to today's lesson. We look forward to seeing you in the next one. Bye.